starting next weekend or this weekend, right? With Angry Birds.
With Angry Birds.
Which is let's take a look. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that one bird looks like a banana.
This is like some really interesting voice talent attached to this movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually pretty excited for the idea of this being pretty cool, even though I will say honestly that Angry Birds is one of those franchises. It's one of the major big video game franchises that just never connected with me.
Oh, totally. Which I don't know if we were just a little too old when it came out, or if we both like mobile games.
Yeah,
there's specific mobile games that we're obsessed with.
I'm definitely not. I'm not against mobile games as an idea. It's just that just gameplay wise, it wasn't there for me.
Yeah. So Ratchet definitely didn't work. This is obviously faring better in terms of reviews.
Yeah.
We'll see. It comes out this weekend.
So yeah, Ratchet's continuing the kickoff of video game movies of 2016, but we also have Angry Nightman in Firetown.
Yeah, Angry Nightman in Firetown. This is the big one that's coming at the end of the year. Assassin's Creed, the first trailer released a little while ago, and the trailer was incredible. The trailer is gorgeous. It has this really great creative team behind it. Justin Kurzel, who's the director, directed this amazing retelling of Macbeth that also starred Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard.
Yeah.
That trio is back together in this. The trailer visually, captured the look and feel of the game perfectly.
I think that what's really interesting about that is how closely connected Michael Fassbender is to this series and his commitment to it. I think it's even like working through his production studio in some capacity. He's the kind of guy that picks good scripts for the most part.
Totally. He has very few bombs, like Prometheus, but that's sort of like, on paper, Prometheus should have worked.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened.
Yeah, the only thing that worries us a little bit about this is that they've come out and said 65% of the movie takes place out of the Animus, which is the part of the game people don't like, so.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about that. It's gorgeous looking, and everything we've seen so far is pretty strictly connected to the source material.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's the part that people want.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they handle it.
Dead
Rising.
Yeah, Dead Rising Endgame.
Another one.
This is a picture of Dead Rising 3 because I couldn't find a large image of Dead Rising
Yeah.
Endgame, so disregard this. This is the second Dead Rising movie. Did you know that there's already a Dead Rising movie named Watchtower?
Yeah, and don't worry, you won't have to see this one in theaters because this one's coming straight to Crackle.
Yep, I wrote that down here. I don't know what Crackle is.
Crackle is, it's basically, it's the new version of saying something's coming straight to VHS.
Gotcha.
But without all the allure of saying Netflix.
I thought Crackle
Netflix
was a drug from season 4 of The Wire.
Yeah, the Method Man gets arrested for selling that.
What
After that, we've got...
So I'm excited for this one.
What is this?
This is Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. This was the Final Fantasy movie that got revealed at the big Final Fantasy 15 event the other month. This is a sort of prequel, sort of parallel story that talks about Noctis's dad, the main character of the game's dad. We actually got to see a little, I probably can't talk too much about it, but we got to see a rough cut of some of the footage of the movie, and the action in it looks spectacular.
And this is all CG, right?
This is all CG. It's some of the best CG, honestly, like photorealistic CG I've ever seen. And the action scenes that we got to see were some of the craziest I've ever seen.
So maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope for another Ratchet and Clank movie down the line. Anyway, I mean, we talked about Spirits Within earlier.
Yeah, totally. And Spirits Within, sort of tanked a studio, and then this is the same team behind Advent Children, which came out a couple years ago, which was cool. It wasn't great, but it was cool at least. So, and this has really great voice talent attached to it. This is Aaron Paul, Sean Bean, Lena Headey from Game of Thrones. So.
Aaron Paul play a chocobo?
Squaw! Yeah. No, I know. This is really sad.
We're not going to talk about this one again, but this is part of the story for this year. Yeah. So, well, I mean, this will be probably on Crackle soon. So, after that, we've got another Resident Evil film. But this is the last one.
It says it's the final chapter, but I don't believe that.
I never believe there's any finality with anything with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
I mean, how many times has Albert Wesker had a final chapter?
Yeah, and then he came back as like a Matrix ninja, and
a boulder.
Yeah, I don't think he ever came back as a boulder.
So this is a husband and wife duo of Mia and
Paul Anderson.
Yeah,
Paul W. Anderson. Not
they kept
confused
their
with
own names
Paul
for that
Thomas Anderson, who's just wildly more talented.
Or Wes Anderson.
Or Wes Anderson. Or Louis Anderson.
Okay, I would pay good money to see a Louis Anderson Resident Evil movie. There's all these zombies. Maybe we should eat them. All right, and then Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
So
What?
This was announced. There was a teaser trailer in 2014 that this movie was coming out in 2016. You know what? There hasn't been any update of this movie since 2014.
He's hiding. Like the cool raccoon that he is.
He's a thievius raccoonus.
All
I
right.
think we got one more.
We got one more.
And this
Warcraft!
is Warcraft. This is coming out in a week and a half.
So this is, I'm going to predict it right now, this is the winner of 2016 video game movies. There's no way, I don't see this one failing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I really don't.
I mean, Duncan Jones, the director behind it, did Source Code and Moon, super talented.
ILM is doing the artwork for it,
Yeah.
and like it's gorgeous looking.
Yeah, they cast an actual orc.
Yeah.
People were worried that they were going to cast, but they cast an orc.
They've had one in captivity for a very long time.
Yeah, they were just waiting for this.
And they're letting them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this looks great. This is like, you know, it's going to be basically Braveheart with monsters.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that,
I'm
actually.
totally into
well,
this.
you know, if you count Mel Gibson, Braveheart's already Braveheart with a monster.
Yes, 100%.